Alrighty, guys, welcome back. We are back at it live at the Leather Pocket here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada for the Canadian Men's 9-Ball Championships. My name is Grant, and of course, sitting beside the one and only Mr. Jimmy White. How are you this morning, Jim?
Very well rested, thanks, Grant.
That's good.
I was hoping the same was going to be true for you, but when you tell me you got out of here about 3:30, 4 in the morning, good luck for a good rest.
Yes. It'll take perhaps a copious amount of coffee to get me through the day, but I'll get there.
Well, I can tell you one thing. We're in for a treat with these two. This is a second-round winner's side matchup, and if the Fargo ratings don't give you an indication of how close this one's going to be, this is you've tuned in at the right time.
I agree. This one's going to require some help from our viewing audience. Hit that share button. Let's get it going. It's the Battle of East Canada v. West Canada.
Yeah, and home court advantage to Ben Francis. Ben, the manager here at the Leather Pocket. And Eric's been in town, though, he got in early Monday. He's been doing lessons here and been playing a few small challenge matches just to get a feel for the conditions. But he's a very accomplished player. He's played all over the world representing Canada. Eric Hjorleifson, originally from Winnipeg, calls Toronto home now.
Phenomenal player. Just ultra consistent.
Yeah, and this could easily be a final, this match. So a very high-powered encounter between Big Red. Eric probably wishes it was basketball right now. He's about a foot taller than Ben.
Well, Ben and I were talking about that yesterday. And I said, we have to put this match on for no other reason than you've got the tallest guy in the room versus the shortest guy in the room.
Great containing shot, that one from Eric.
Yeah, tough hit for Ben here. Can he go on top of the 8-ball and maybe 2-3 rails?
Yeah, I think he'll be looking for either a 2-cushion or a 3-cushion escape here, the right-hand side of the table as we look. And again, he's more controlled or more interested in controlling where the cue ball and object ball are going to go. He's not as worried about the hit. That's a big 1-ball. I know it sounds funny, but given the angles he's looking at, I'd be surprised if he missed this.
Yeah, me too. I think I favor him to hit it. It's trying to control the traffic and where that 1 and cue ball is going to go. That's going to be the challenge. Wow, great hit. Great result.
Yeah, got rewarded. Great shot from Ben there. And this gives you an idea very early of the class of these two players. Great containing shot from Eric and great response from Ben Francis.
We are in for a treat this morning. Make sure you're giving that stream a lot of love. Give that share button some love.
I noticed in attendance, Eric Hjorleifson's mom and dad, too, made the way from Winnipeg to watch their son play. I haven't seen them for a while, but I remember in the early days when Eric was a junior, they used to show up at a lot of matches that Eric would be playing.
Well, I think Eric has done them proud.
Yeah, very proud mom and dad.
Does he attack this combo?
Yeah, he did, and he got a little lucky with the safety.
Yeah, and the results of where the 2 ended up, not favorable.
This game of 9-ball does tend to reward aggression.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you get players that they want to park their opponent in their seat, and the best way to do that is you got to be in attack mode right from the outset.
Yeah, it kind of puts your opponent on ice, and typically when you're sitting in the chair for a while, coming back and trying to get into a rhythm is somewhat challenging. or can be challenging.
Yeah, Grant, few players and fans all starting to stream in now to the leather pocket. We got here pretty early, and we actually had a chance to watch some of the matches and got good viewing perspective. I think that's going to diminish as the day goes on. This place is going to be slammed.
Oh, most certainly. So if you are in the area, make sure you come on down, get here early. It'll be standing room only this afternoon. Yeah, tough second round, tough first round as well. Ben was battling with Stan Taranjo in his first match. Wow. A battle of wills early on. Nobody wants to give up an inch here.
Kind of awkward queuing. You just had to bridge very near the white. Then again, good containing shot. Not a tough hit. He's hoping to get a mistake on the judgment and escape in this hook.
Well, he might have to go full into the one. Typically, if that cue ball was just over a touch, I think you might see him go 2 rails and try the kick on the one. But I don't think that's quite available. I think he's got to go full ball hit.
Well, he looks like he might be jumping over 2 balls here, over the 8 and the 9. Well, this white's going to be airborne. I got to tell you, this looks tough even from the commentary position.
Yeah, I'm glad he's the one shooting it, and I'm just commentating on it. But I favor him to make at least the hit and get close, if not make it. Got a little bit shy on it. But I think the decision in his mind was if he attacks this one and doesn't quite hit it, the position of the 2 ball isn't great.
Now Eric was reaching to grab the cue ball. I don't know if Eric didn't realize that Ben feathered that one, because it looked like he did.
He did, yeah.
And he almost grabbed the cue ball, but see how he kind of hesitated and confirmed with his opponent? So that was a good move by Eric.
Yep. Good situational awareness.
Well, this hasn't worked out too bad. There's a chance at this 2, and 3's in the open. Not easy. Eric normally very aggressive too.
I love that style of play. I really do.
Yeah, he didn't intend that going in.
But I wonder if that kick combo is wired up. The 3-6 past the 7 might take a little bit of a pocket weight type of shot.
Looks like you can catch the edge of it, Grant.
Yeah,
maybe run
he's
for
going
cover.
Straight in it. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, he tickled it.
Caught it too thin.
Yeah, he shaved the shine off that ball. Well, Ben Francis with opportunity.
Tricky 4.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised he didn't put a little more power into that and draw more to the right side of the table there.
Yeah, this is the big shot right here in this rack. Because 5, 6, 7, and 8 all nicely situated, but it's a big shot on this 4. And so much so he decided to refuse it.
Smart.
Yeah, this game is about decision making. Sometimes you just got to take your medicine, and Ben just felt that the risks outweighed the rewards in attacking that 4. And he's played a good containing shot.
Nice hit. He's going to get rewarded here. There is some distance. And maybe hampered just a touch. I think that 7 ball is going to be in your mind a little bit, being you're queuing that close to it.
Yes, this 4 is still the key ball in this opening rack.
And you can't just feather this in. You've got to come back down table.
Great shot. That's going to elude him the winning post. Great shot on the 4. Stayed nice and still.
Yeah, very challenging from that distance. Handled it well.
You know, what I also like about both Ben and Eric is they waste little time. When the balls are there, they don't, no wasted movement.
Nope.
They just get on with everything.
I really like it. They just get down to business.
Yeah, it's always a sign of confidence.
Mm-hmm. Well, now, I think they both have the same type of style where when they're rolling, man, it's almost like they're running around the table. Well, that's kind of how you want it to be on the final shot, making the 9 ball almost dead straight.
Well, hometown hero Ben Francis opens his account 1-0 over Eric Hjorleifson in a match that very difficult to call. But with the winter break format too, both of these players, they can slide 3 or 4 against you and put you under a lot of pressure.
Indeed. Well, and both of them also have the skill to deal with that pressure. So I think you mentioned yesterday, and it's very, very true, that there is no lead that is safe.
No, not when you've got the talent that this event has out there. I think you also mentioned there's about 14 players with a 700+ Fargo rate.
Yes. And there's quite a few of those, I believe, 6 or 7 that have already gone to the B side. So nowhere to hide in this event. I got to do it. Maybe I can catch it before Ben breaks. Give you the top-down view. Well, not a terrible layout here, Jim.
No, he'll take that every day. Slightly hampered queuing at this 1, but the 2's in the open. Just got to keep the cue ball anywhere near the middle of the table would suffice.
Steady Eddie. Yeah, I don't really see anything on the table here that is going to cause Ben too many issues. Three and 4 potentially into that same bottom right-hand corner. Yeah, and I agree with you, Gord. Comment on YouTube, or sorry, on Facebook. Odd to see Ben playing without his hat on, but that is definitely part of the dress code. No hats.
Well, I'm happy to say that that dress code didn't apply in the commentary box because he wore his hat in here.
Yeah, there's a few players in Calgary that it's very abnormal to see them play without a hat on. Fairly tic-tac-toe from here. 6 to that side. Does want to get on the right side of that 6 ball. Anywhere from straight on and lower than that. You don't want to be on the wrong side, although you could draw underneath. The trickery.
Yeah, I like the way Ben played that shot.
I do too. I didn't even see it. But that's why he plays on that side of the camera.
He's showing you the value of having a good break.
Yeah, it will definitely pay dividends.
Yeah, early indications Ben is fit for the fight here.
Yeah, he showed up ready to go. I know he's put in a ton of time, as has Eric. I know Eric showed up, as you mentioned, early and has been here pretty much every day, lessons and getting the feel for the table. But at this point, we certainly can't count Eric Hjorleifson out of the fight. I don't think he's got a give-up bone in his body. I see one of our co-commentators tuned in. How you doing, Mark White?
Not Mark White.
Mark White?
Long distance.
Yeah, he's halfway around the world.
One of my favorite commentators.
Mine too.
But please, Mark, don't let that go to your head. He's also one of my good friends.
Yes. He is definitely not only just a great commentator, but a gem of a human being.
And we wish Mark all the best, too. He had a stroke a couple months ago, so he's still on the mend. And I understand he's doing a little bit of commentary. But, Mark, we're still cheering for you, big guy. I know the sort of courage you've got, so you keep at it. God willing, we'll be seeing each other again soon.
Well, a little bit of a tricky start here for Ben. Couldn't take that 2 into the side, and depending on the angle, just draw back to where he's at now, take the long shot on 3. Or if he does have some angle, he can play through it and play on top of the 3. Didn't want to be in line with that 8 ball.
Yeah, he's been unlucky there, in fairness, Grant. He hit that pretty nice, and that cue ball could have landed anywhere but there. And this just, increases the degree of difficulty because he's going to be hampered cueing right over the 8.
Well, there is a saying out there, no good shot goes unpunished.
Yeah, and that proved to be the difference. Just trying to force that to get over for the 4. But this is a chance, first real good chance for Eric Hjorleifson.
Yeah, nothing standing in Eric's way here either.
Nice control.
Nice little touch draw here. Some nice angle maintained on the 7. Float back up table. You know, there's one thing I got to mention with Big Red. Always so calm at the table. You don't really see him feeling the pressure. Just super smooth.
And Eric's got a big break. Secures his opening rack in this second round match. Still a race to 9. But you definitely do want to stay on the winner's side. You get bumped to the left-hand side of the bracket, and your workload doubles.
Yeah, the B side is not the spot you want to be.
Grant, I think you're being called out. They need you out there. Unless I'm mistaken, this guy. No, he might be. There was a guy just outside the commentary box that looked like he was trying to get my attention to tap you on the shoulder, but maybe he's just looking for a server.
That could be. In
which
don't
case,
mind,
I'm happy
right?
to go get him a drink.
Right. I can switch hats.
Wants, no, I just took his order. It's a roast beef sandwich, extra Worcester sauce.
That was that Worcestershire name that nobody can pronounce. And thank you, Regis. I appreciate the compliment. Both Jim and I do. Is this on YouTube? It is indeed. We are live on both Facebook and YouTube. At this point, I just walked in minutes before this match started, so we only have the comments up from from Facebook, but I'll get YouTube up at some point throughout the day. Wash your sister's sauce. That's one I'll have to put in the memory bank. Wow, nice shot. Really nicely controlled that cue ball. I was going to say, is he playing for that 4-9? I'm surprised by that.
Well, he is now.
Yeah. If he wasn't, he certainly is.
It looks like it's set, actually. He hasn't really eyed it up for too long, so 4-9 into the bottom left.
Oh, good stand-up. Wasn't quite feeling it. Plays kind of a two-way shot there.
Yeah, that's a let-off regardless. And Ben knows that he's happy to get out of his chair.
Indeed. With a chance that, in my opinion, he shouldn't have received. I think the hit on the 4 is tough here. Might have to put a lot of right hand on this just to kind of thin it. And he's kind of swerving into it. Into the rail. That's going to lay up pretty good, I think. Well, pretty good if you're in Big Red's camp. Another kick at this potential 4-9 combo, do you think, Jim?
Yeah, fraught with danger. If he plays it, he'll certainly have an element of safety in mind. Wow. That's two looks at the 4-9, and neither one really threatened the pocket. And he may have gotten away with a rather risky attempt at that 4-9. I don't think this 4 goes by the 6 into that corner.
Nope, I would agree. And surprising of, the margin that attempt was missed by.
Well, he never really even looked at it, never got down the line just to size up exactly the point of contact.
Mm-hmm.
So he shot it just almost at a glance.
Which you don't often see out of Big Red. Thank you, Kevin. It's a treat for me, I can tell you that.
First time Leather Pocket has hosted the Canadian Championships. And talking to Sonia, she'd like to see this club host a few more events of this ilk. They've got beautiful tables. The equipment is as good as it gets. Simonis cloth on all these diamond tables. And there's a cue ball tracking just past Ben. Ben thought he'd retrieve that one for them.
Yeah, right.
That's and again, something else these guys have to contend with. There's matches going on all around the stream table, so you've got to stay focused and stay in the moment.
This might leak out here. This is going to give a wide open shot here for Big Red. Play it back at Ben. And there's part of me that wonders, the timing of that cue ball coming through. Does that affect? I mean, he got down into that pretty quick after he handed that ball back.
Nice
Great
shot.
shot, yeah.
Using the 5 to hold the 4, and again, it looks like he's left the edge of that 4 available for Ben, but this is a lot tougher safety than the one that faced Eric.
Well, the safety play back is tough. I don't know if the hit's really that difficult, but from that distance.
And Eric's bought himself a chance. This 4 is available. He's got to dial 8 for long distance, but it's on. Oh. I mean, that's about as bad an effort as you're going to see from Eric Hjorleifson.
Yeah. Surprising. But again, right, it's still early in the day. Perhaps working out still some jitters, and I don't know that Eric played a match this morning. I think it's the first match of the day. First few games in. Elbow grease needs to be lubricated up a little bit. Now Big Red finds himself in the position he was trying to put Ben in.
Yeah, he's kind of bought this, hasn't he? Bought it for himself with the miss on the 4. It's not a very forgiving game, 9-ball.
No, it can be so punishing at times. And it tends to be that when things start going wrong, it's like quicksand and just drags you in, right? And one mistake compounds, and it actually costs you a couple of racks to make a single mistake.
That's why you have to be so mentally tough. You know, I always say you want to have a memory like a goldfish when you play this game.
And it looks like Joe Spence finished up his match on the winner's side. I forgot I had my glasses here, Jim. I can see. From downtown here. All the way down, bottom right-hand corner. Oh, you might be playing safety. Well, look at that. I did not think that went past the 9-ball.
Yeah, not his best positional effort, though. He's still got a lot of work to do.
Indeed. Not out of the woods yet. Wow.
Great shot, better result, fully deserving.
He made a fairly difficult shot look fairly easy. Got a good result.
Yeah, we already noted that Ben isn't the tallest player in the tournament, and he had to put the extension into the back end of the cue just to reach that cue ball, and it was just past the center line. So,
well, that'll give you an indication as to how tall he is not.
Well, I'll tell you what, he may be diminutive in size, but he's got a heart of a lion.
He sure does. And his table knowledge is just amazing.
And 3-1 confirmed. Here at the leather pocket.
Got to give a couple of shout outs to some of the sponsors for the event. Nick's Q Innovations. He is local here to Calgary, playing in the event. And any Q repair work that you would need done, that is the man. The guy can fix things that shouldn't be able to be fixed. So if you're local, certainly give him a call, 403-667-3173. If you're not local, still give him a call and you can ship your cue to him. He'll get the necessary work done and ship it on back. Well, and we need to see some movement here from Eric. You don't want to get too far behind against a guy like Ben Francis. Try to keep it tight. That being said, as you alluded to yesterday, no lead is safe in this format, and especially with the likes of Eric Hjorleifson as your opponent.
Yeah, Eric, in terms of experience, decided edge on Ben.
Definitely.
But Ben's as comfortable as any player can be in this room. He can tell you where every cigarette burn in the carpet is.
Well, he's got a hit on the one. I don't think he's got the make. somewhat containing, and I believe he does have that outside edge, but again, these can be a little deceiving at times as far as what they actually have. Is Johnny still in? Yes, John Mora is still in.
I was watching a bit of Johnny, his match today, and he hasn't been tested yet. He's kind of cruised in both his first and second round clashes. He comes in here as the tournament favorite, and I think everyone can agree on that. He's the man to beat.
Oh, what a shot. Big red equal to the task. Very well done with that side pocket, and 3-ball where it sits makes the hit on the one a touch tougher. Ben might have to go straight across on top of the left side pocket with a lot of spin and try to connect with that 1-ball. I don't think he can go behind the 8. I could be wrong. It looks like that's what he's looking at, though.
I think he's going to go with option 1 that you suggested, Grant. Try and spin it just top side of the left middle pocket. But again, trusting to luck a little.
A little bit of a hit and hope for sure. Wow. Full rewards. Full marks.
Just noticed Eric out of his chair, kind of looking to the heavens.
Wow.
Yeah, spun it too much and too much bottom. He tried to widen the angle off that side cushion with bottom, and he just overcooked it. That shot depended solely on speed. And now gilt-edged opportunity for Ben Francis to put a little bit more distance between him and Eric. They're all there.
Indeed. Perhaps a little bit under hit there. I think he wanted to come just a touch higher. However, with the 3-ball hanging out by that left side pocket, gives him options. Yeah, nothing there to hold him back. Had the lead a little bit more.
My co-commentator, he's a referee, commentates, set the cameras all up. He's the referee, and all of a sudden he's the producer. He just switches to the overhead perspective. There's not many hats that Grant Zemp isn't wearing for this event.
I appreciate that, Jim. There's a few hats, but I'll happily wear them.
Well, thank God you're in here because you don't want me touching any buttons.
Well, there's really nothing you can do to break anything, but I certainly I can appreciate it.
I'd test that theory. That's 4-1 Ben Francis, 3 clear and breaking in rack number 6. It's time for Eric to pick himself up off the canvas because Ben is too good of a player to let him get his tail up.
Yeah, and I think we kind of touched on that yesterday a little bit, right? It starts to build the confidence, and then that builds the momentum. And Ben is a scary, scary player when he starts feeling it and he starts strutting around that table. And we know Eric's got it in him. There's no question about that. But I think it would do. I think it would do him well to have a really good offensive opportunity, run the rack, obviously put a point on his side of the scoreboard, and start to build his own confidence and his own momentum, and make a match out of this. Oh, he lost the cue ball.
Quickly the push from Eric. So
Yeah,
Ben with
no real decision there.
Well, unless Ben sees something fairly simple in which to defend, he'll bring Eric back out of his chair.
Yeah, and this is from distance, being up onto the rail and shooting off the rail all the way down to the other end of the table. Really, no matter what the plan is, this is a difficult shot.
He'd be very unlucky if he's lined up the 1-5 combination, and Eric's had a quick look at it. He may just have to slightly overcut that one. But
yeah,
it's not.
He didn't look at that for long at all.
It's not going to be tracking too far away from that pocket. No, he cut it too thick. And I think he's left a chance for Ben.
Yep. So long as it passes behind that 5 ball. I think it's the 5. I know a way we can tell. Plays the combination. Yeah, I think you're right, Mr. Mark White. Says Eric Hjorleifson looks a little bit shaky after that miss on the 4-9 combo. It's kind of where all this started from.
For me, he's just had a few looks at combinations and hasn't really given them the care and attention that they were due. Just a little lax in his preparation. There's still a ways to go in this match. You've got plenty of time to turn it around, but
oh, he sure does.
He's given Ben Francis a pretty healthy lead.
Well, and rightfully so. I mean, there's been a couple of uncharacteristic misses out of Eric that normally you won't see. A little short of pace on this 4 ball to get to 6. Have to put a decent amount of left-hand spin on this shot to get down there.
Look out. Yeah, just flicked the 8 going in. And he's brought the cue ball into no man's land. Well, that's a huge let-off for Hjorleifson. And the short cue. He'll be going airborne to get over this 8. But what could have been very simple has now been made very difficult. And he's having a real good look at it. And I can tell you, Ben's height doesn't work in his advantage when he brings the short cue out.
Although I have seen Ben get over even shorter distances, and that's testament to two things. One obviously being Ben's skill, but secondly is Nick's cue innovations. It is his jump cue that Ben uses, and it is a pretty amazing jump cue.
He's going to have to elevate here. Come in real steep at this one. Yeah, huge let off.
But I think this is just what the doctor ordered for Big Red. Stop the bleeding, so to speak. Get one back on your side of the scoreboard and start a run.
A much needed rack win. Stop the bleeding. Still trailing 4-2, but he's got the break in the 7th rack. In the order of the day, to be able to put a couple break and runouts together, get himself back into contention in this. It always looked like it was going to be a very close match, and the break could have been the deciding factor, but been a few unforced errors from Eric Hjorleifson for me that have turned the tide. Now he's fighting from the back end.
Well, and I think he's got obviously he's a very seasoned player. He's certainly been in this position numerous times, so I don't think it's quite in his mind yet that we need to be panicked, but certainly in control now with the break and taking that last rack, start to build some momentum.
Race to 9. Just to remind you, if you're just tuning in, this is a 2nd round match. Winner's side.
How did that one stay out? One stays out, just connects with the horn and finds its way out of the pocket. I would have counted that in.
And that was a missed opportunity from Ben Francis. Everything was there for the taking, and
a little bit of a yip in the arm, perhaps. Yeah, good shot. Although this 7 needs to get its nose out of the way. Yeah, good shot. Awfully flirtatious there.
I was holding my breath. That side pocket didn't need to be in the equation there at all.
Yeah, and I think Eric kind of needs to get this rack. I think if he lets this one slip and Ben goes on another 2 or 3 game tear.
Eric really came into prominence when he won the Canadian Championship at the Northern Lights Casino in Prince Albert. A host of great players playing there.
And just a super, super nice guy, Eric Hjorleifson.
Yeah, and if you're ever looking for lessons, Eric is also one of those players that has the unique ability of being able to put everything into layman's terms. Very easy to understand. He communicates very well. And I'll tell you what, he's become a very good commentator in his own right, too.
Yeah. I would agree. And you know, further to your point on being not only a great player but a great teacher, it's not always hard to do, to take, you know, the knowledge that you have in your head and put that into layman's terms, and Eric does that extremely well.
To claw one more back.
Indeed he does. And of course, more shout-outs, more sponsors to say thank you and show some appreciation. This is the main sponsor, Performance Auto Calgary Inc. So huge shout-out to them. Appreciate them. Search them out on Facebook, YouTube. Show them a little bit of love, appreciation for being the main sponsor of the Canadian Men's 9-Ball Championships.
Well, I see my buddy Charlie Brown tuning in from the West Coast. Charlie was just in Toronto playing in the Canadian Snooker Championships that we hosted at the Corner Bank. Charlie, I hope you're doing well. I will definitely pass your regards on to Brady. Yeah, wayward cue ball. The cut break off that side cushion. And that is a showstopper. You can tell the body language of Eric Hjorleifson as he goes back to his chair.
Yeah.
And now all he can do is wonder, the same as us, how long is he going to be in that chair? What will that wayward break cost him?
Yeah, it looks like the wind just got kind of taken out of the sails a little bit. But you know, it's the one thing I do like on the rules and the format, having the 9 on the spot, 1 on top, and then the 2-ball random. Catches the point on the way through.
Well,
and Eric quick to jump out of the chair.
Yeah,
and take
you noticed
advantage.
that too. We got a very quick answer. Didn't spend too long in his chair at all.
Needs a hit on that 9. Oof. Perhaps got away with it a little bit there. That cue ball was looking destined to find its way into that bottom right-hand corner. Nonetheless, stayed out, and Mr. Francis going to have to come with a shot here, perhaps a jump shot. Don't know if he's got the window between the 4 and the 5 to get to the side rail for the hit. Into the air with the cue ball. Try to contain the cue ball in behind the 6 up top. Or not. Down it comes. Gets really, really fortunate there.
Yeah, I think you're going to see Eric try and jump over the 5 and the 8 here.
Yeah, with the proximity of the 3 to that top left corner, it is a very makeable jump shot.
And again, Eric's height working for him, because he does have to elevate.
Super smooth. I just love watching Eric play. Whether he's jumping or just straight cueing in, it's just super smooth on the stroke. A little more angle here, I think, than would be ideal if you're Mr. Francis.
Just gets that 3 ball to the cushion. Hoping for the mistake.
And it is full ball. I thought maybe Ben left just the topside edge, but is he really trying this jump shot? That 3 ball's awfully close to that side rail.
Keep the cue ball on the table's tough.
Wow. Great jump, great hit.
Yeah,
if that was me at the table, that cue ball's going.
That's on the floor.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah, well, he's left a chance for Ben. And
yeah, it does go.
Yeah, all he needs to do is focus on this 3, because the cue ball, the natural path, will drop it on the bottom side of the table as we look from our overhead camera. He's going to have to play this one with a little bit of force. Get to the 5 ball next.
Yeah, and that 8 does make it a little bit. Got to notice that 8 ball. Does not want to get stuck behind that. Although 5 to the 6, fairly routine. Really, the rest of the rack. Execution being the operative word.
Just a little straighter than he might have liked, but he'll be able to leave himself a little angle on that 8 to get from the 8 to the 9.
Yeah, and I wonder if he draws this back or whether he plays forward a touch. Come off the top rail and back out. You and me both, Mark. You and me both. Well, to regain a 2-game lead and leading off. Rack number 9. So again, quick race to 9. A-side match, 64 players is what we started with. 14 or 17 of those players at the 700 plus Fargo rate.
Yeah, a little bit of a break now. Both players departing the arena.
Well, we'll give a shout out to perhaps a couple other sponsors while we have the time to do so. I always like to make sure that they are well taken care of. Lack No Billiards out of Lethbridge, Alberta. About an hour and 45 minutes southeast of Calgary. They are the ones responsible for reclothing all the tables here at the Leather Pocket, both on the 9 foots as well as the 7 foots. Simonis 860HR, and they have done a phenomenal job. These tables are playing amazing. So make sure you look them up if you need any table service or cue repair or chalk or cues. They have it all. And of course, we have the event jersey, Jam Up Apparel. It is up and live, jamupapparel.com. It is the official event jersey for the Canadian 9-Ball Championships.
Good looking jerseys, probably as comfortable atop to wear when you're a pool player as you can find, Grant.
I know my opinion is biased, but I agree. And it's something that between myself and Damien, we take pride in because we've changed and searched and improved and right from day one to try to bring the best quality in material that we can get. And it took about 7 years to get that jersey to the state that it's at right now.
I got a Jam Up sweater when I was in Puerto Rico. The venue was freezing.
Yes.
So I grabbed one at one of your vendors there, and I've got to be honest, I don't think I've ever owned anything that I get more compliments on than that sweater.
Yeah. Yeah. We've got, I just want to show real quick, we're still on break, but I'm really looking forward to bringing this one out. I think, Gord, you keep asking whether you can put a zipper in this. I think I'm actually going to find a way to make this also a zip-up hoodie and a jacket. I just love the design. Right, and if there's one guy at Jam Up that is going to be as passionate as I am in doing whatever I can do for Canada, Canadian pool, Canadian players, I will put every ounce of effort that I can muster to make sure that we have the best of the best. So both of those items, both the event jersey and the hoodie, they are available jamupapparel.com. The jersey is under men's jerseys, and obviously the hoodie is under men's hoodies.
Oh, Ben putting the rack together. I haven't seen Eric come back yet, so he'll just, oh, as I say that, Eric just striding back to the match table.
And with him being as tall as what he is, it doesn't take him many strides to get there.
A testament to the quality of the players competing in this year's Canadian 9-Ball Championship. You know, you get a match like this in only the second round, 752, 758 respectively, Fargo rates. I mean, either one of these two could win the tournament. You know, you've got your John Moras, Stephen Holmes. I mean, Eric Vargas, another very good player, Brady Gollin, Joe Spence, Jason Klatt,
Stan Taranjo.
Gee, I mean, the list goes on and on. So many quality players here.
Well, I think it is it's definitely the title that as Canadian players, it's the one that we vie after, or the one that the pro level caliber players, that's the one that that means a little something, you know, being a Canadian player.
A little bit of a mistake there. Looked like he tried to spin that. Obviously with intentions of trying to pocket it and just misjudged it.
Yeah, caught it a little thick. That took the aiming point away and almost killed that spin that he wanted on that cue ball.
Ben's going to have to come with a good shot here. Get over the left-hand side of the table.
That's the one.
That's 6, impeding the progress that would be natural should he want to follow through. So he may elect to just try and draw this over the left-hand side.
Well, looks like he is loading up. Did not want the rub on the 8, however.
It was never going to be easy, Grant.
No, I concur.
He tried to draw that between the colors, and now the defensive option really is the only one confronting Ben. Thin hit, try and push the cue ball behind the 6 near the bottom cushion. He's got a couple balls in the middle of the table he could use as blockers.
Yeah, I like that
9.
shot. Yeah, I like that.
We'll see what he attacks at.
Brings it right up behind or close to behind the 9. But I think it's fairly routine, easy hit here for Big Red, no matter which way he attacks it.
Great reply from Eric.
Indeed, deserving. If I have to say, it seems like when they get into these safety battle exchanges, Ben's kind of got the better of the rubs and the rolls thus far. And I think Eric was well deserved to come out on top with that one.
And Ben has bought himself another chance. Good safety, extracting the mistake from Hjorleifson.
Was a good hit by Eric there. Almost made it, and I think just caught the underside of the 6 ball.
He's having a look at the 5-9. Z8's over the bottom corner. That's a much easier combination because the 5-9 doesn't look set. But Ben's going to be going at it.
I'm surprised by that, to be honest, because I don't think that's a wired up combo. And as you said, right, with the 5-8 sitting over the corner, I'm a little surprised at Ben going after this 5-9.
He knew what he was doing.
Yep.
6-3.
Who am I to question him?
6-3 confirmed. The race to 9. And Ben in command.
Yeah. A little bit of a hole that Eric's built for himself here. Certainly has enough skill to make his way out and climb out of the hole. Can't put that past him. So if you're just joining us, you are watching live from the Leather Pocket in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. It is the Canadian Men's 9-Ball Championship. Started with 64 players. Tournament started around 7 o'clock last night. And if you're in the area, come on down. It'll be standing room only this afternoon.
Well, I'm getting some messages from the boys back home at the club in Toronto, the Corner Bank. Tommy Liortis, Mike Granit's tuning in, watching this. Boys, hope you're enjoying it. And don't be setting up any early golf games unless you need the cash.
Do you do much golfing out in Toronto?
Only when they need the cash.
Nice shot from distance there. Nice cue ball control.
Yeah, this is looking very ominous if you're an Eric Hjorleifson fan.
Gotta come all the way back down table, I believe. How's the weight? That looks pretty good, Jim.
Yeah, Ben just waiting for one of the players to move out of his way so he can get into position, eye this one up.
Ironically, that player's name is also Ben. Ben DeWolf, Ben Francis.
So the angle from the 6 to the 7 key, because the 7 won't go by the 9 to the bottom corner. So he's got to have the angle to try and get on top of it. And
well, he's made this a little difficult.
Yeah, I don't know that he's where he wanted to be. Again, tough to tell from the camera perspective exactly where he can get to with a white, but he would like to be able to get on top of the 7, below that side pocket as we look.
Oh, he's not going to try it again, is he? Does it go by?
Well, it certainly doesn't look like it. Well, he's missed the 6 regardless, but Eric's having a look to see. He must have been playing it into the side. But either way, he's missed the 6, probably thinking too much about the position of the 7.
Let's take a look, see if the overhead gives us any better indication. But I would think from here, Eric's going to play on top.
Now, can he float this into the side pocket?
I think we're about to find out. I was going to say, even with the float, makes the 8 a little challenging. Handled with ease, however.
Well, what Eric needs now is he needs to be able to play himself back into this one. 6-4 he trails. He's breaking. He needs to put a couple good breaks together.
Yeah. Momentum is always going to be a key factor. And if you can start building it, it seems to be that Murphy decides that it's at that point that you start getting all the the rolls in your favor.
Well, he was staring 7-3 right in the face.
Yeah,
so
he sure was.
6-4 right now. He's
He'll
got to
take
be.
it.
He's
Yep.
got to be feeling better about this, Grant. But like I said, he's got to put a couple good breaks together. You know, get on the positive side of the score sheet. You know, I always talk about having a Filipino mentality and basically living in the moment, staying in the present. That's what Eric's got to focus on now. This is one ball and one rack at a time.
Little bit of a kick there off of a ball. See if we can see any issue here. I think he's full in on the 2. Maybe the 2-8 if he's going to go aggressive. Thank you, Barb. We appreciate that. Good to see you back on again with us.
Geez, what a shot.
Yeah, it goes aggressive and gets rewarded.
From that distance, I can't tell you how good a shot that was.
Yeah, and I think he, like you said, he's just got to get into this Eric Hjorleifson typical routine, typical pace.
Well, both of these players have the type of game where they can just shut the other one out.
Yep.
I mean, there's nothing on the table that's safe. Without a doubt, 2 of Canada's very best.
Oh, my.
Yeah, you know what they call that? The commentator's curse.
Yes, they do. Typically, my commentator's curse is very strong. But I think that one goes to my friend sitting beside me.
Yeah, Eric will be having a little soliloquy with himself right now. And if you're probably within earshot, you'd hear it.
Wow. I can't believe he thinned that into the side pocket.
And how about the position to the 5?
Yeah, I didn't think at all that he would thin that 4 to the side pocket. I thought he would have to cross bank. Yeah, might be a little farther than what he liked. That will do.
Yeah, a huge turn of events. Eric staring 6-5 right in the face. And now, if he wants to try and pull this one from out of the fire, he's going to have to beat Ben 5-1 from this point.
A tall task. Well, and I'm going to give a one shout out here as well to another one of our sponsors. If you're in Calgary, coming on down here later this afternoon, take a stop on by Bubble Mania just up on 16th Avenue. One of the sponsors here for the Canadian Men's 9-Ball Championships. Some of the best wings I've ever had come out of that shop. Well, Ben with full control to put himself on the hill.
Yeah, it's actually very accurate, Grant. He is in control of this match now. Eric needs a mistake.
I think Eric might need a couple of them. He's going to have to fade a couple of breaks. And I think he's done just that. And I'll tell you, he was up and out of that chair fast. Nice little floaty pocket weight shot, little touch draw. Goes 3 rails around instead. Great shot. That puts him closer than what I would have attempted. A little short of pace there.
No, it's a lot short of pace. Getting from the 4 to the 5 now is a tall order. And there you go.
Yeah, that is a direct result of being short on the 4 ball there.
Now he may just have to go over the edge of the 7. Unless he can see it. Well, he's trying to spin it a bit, it looks like. Oh, what
a shot.
Yeah,
Good
what
recovery.
Great recovery. Played that with a lot of left-hand spin as he looked at the cue ball. This is what he needs.
Yeah, that'll help with the confidence builder. Yeah, that was a really, really nice recovery.
Yeah, looked away instantly.
Yeah, on that 50-yard line. But I think this will go into that right side pocket. Yeah, super smooth. You know, I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. You just never see the panic in Eric. He'll shake his head a little bit and be disappointed, but just gets right back down into it, gets to the job, puts it home. Super smooth.
Almost as smooth as you notching that rack up for Eric there. I was waiting. Like I said, I'm not touching any buttons.
Well, Jim, I'll tell you, you never have to underestimate the sneakiness of the fella sitting beside you. Well, I was going to say, with the 1 ball down, I think that was starting to develop into something that Eric was in need of, but the 2 ball has not ended in a kind spot.
2 and 3, same half of the table, but a possibility from the 4 to the 9. So Eric's going to have a good look at where he'd like to get that cue ball to, because he knows the 4-9 is a possibility here. Middle of the table would be ideal. Oh, Eric. Wow.
Oh, I think he's there. I think he's still there.
Yeah, except that he missed the 3.
Oh, my goodness. I didn't even see that. Wow.
Yeah, just thinking too much about the white, Grant.
Yep.
And no other excuse.
Yeah, it took his eye off the prize there just for a fraction of a second. Oh, what's been done? Is he there? Does he have enough of the 4? I would think so. think he can see it. So I think he was in between on his mind whether he wanted to try to straight cut that 4. And in my opinion, I think you play the 4 rail first. And I don't think he had quite made up his mind prior to pulling the trigger on that one. Oh, he was hunting the 9 ball. Subsequently puts Ben in jail. Well, and this is a must hit.
Yeah, and very difficult escape here.
This will be very Efren Reyes-like if he can find the escape here. I'm not quite sure if he is... Yeah, he's locked. I don't think he can go off this end rail. Hard to tell whether he can get this window. He must, though. He's going at it.
That was a very good escape from Ben Francis.
Sure was, yeah.
Difficult hit, made to look easy.
A tester here for Eric. He missed that by a fair margin. I'm not sure whether he was even going for the shot. Perhaps just looking to create some distance and separation. Well, decision time for Ben. Do you want to run the rest of the table? Or do you want to hunt this 9 ball right now off this 4? Indeed, he was hunting. Caught a little bit too much bottom on that. And is given a golden opportunity here for Eric. I mean, 6 is a challenge.
Yeah, that's the only reason that Ben went at the 9 is because the 6 is in the weeds. Eric having a look to see if he can get the 6 between the cushion and the 8, possibly off the 9 into that corner pocket.
Does our overhead show us? Ooh, that is close. Might be able to sneak behind the 8. But I don't know that it'll have enough legs to get there. Now I say that these tables have been recently clothed, so they will slide a little more than normal.
Well, he's got the perfect angle here. He can get at the 6 on either side.
Oh, I like this shot. Really well done. A little hampered here. Got a little unlucky by that 8 ball, but I like the shot.
Again, being tall.
Yes, this helps him a little bit, being tall.
Ben Francis would have to get a step ladder to play this shot.
And the double rest. Horn shape, that will help. Super smooth in 2 rails. Might be a little bit on the funny side of that angle there. Would have liked a little bit more than that.
Yeah, he may well elect to play this off the 9. He doesn't have to, but that may be the only way he's going to get position to the 9 easily.
Well, we'll see how he plays it here. Does play it off the 9. Great result. This will lay up really nice. Some great battle back here from Eric.
A much needed rack win, that one. 7-6, he's in the hunt.
Yeah, he's just put himself back in. And really, I would say almost in the favored position coming back from the deficit that he did.
Yeah, he was 7-4 down. He's won the last 2, Grant. If he wins this rack, 7-7 and breaking, I'd agree with you.
Yep. That'll get inside the mind of Mr. Francis. Creates that little bit of doubt, and it seems to be that's all that's required for the momentum switch to take place. I think this was the chance he's looking for. Let's take a look. Can use the potentially the 8 as a stopper, taking the 2 to the side if he needs to, or just draw back and play the 3 into that bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah, I think this is a gilt-edged opportunity for Eric. Ooh, slithers by that 6.
I held my breath there a little bit.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, now he's nudged it, and he's not sure that it passes into the same corner. He's going to play this 3. And that changes his path to the finish line if it doesn't. Like a little careless there from Eric. He never really hit that 2 with any conviction.
Yeah. I thought he would put a little more draw on that than just straight follow it down table.
In the format here, Grant, you correct me if I'm wrong, is they play down to the last 16 and there's a redraw?
Correct, yeah. So top 8 from the A side, top 8 from the B side will form the final 16. They go into a redraw and single elimination from that point on.
And that was a horrible shot from Eric. He had so much area that he could have got that cue ball to. He's woefully short of speed.
Yeah, he hit the 3, caught it really thin.
Yeah, that was inexcusable, and he may pay the ultimate price here.
Yeah, that certainly could be curtains on not only this game, but that could be the deciding factor in this match.
Yeah, his only insurance policy right now will be if that 6 does not go by the 7 to the bottom left corner, then getting from the 5 to the 6 is a little tricky.
Yep. I'm off to go ref a shot. I will be back momentarily.
Ben thinking 3 shots ahead right now. Wants the angle from the 4 to the 5 to be able to drop nicely onto the 6. It is available to a couple pockets, but he needs the right angle on that 5. That's not it. He overdrew that by about a foot. Now he's going to have to manufacture a shot to get nicely onto the 6. And that's assuming he decides to attack. Well, not bad, but not the easiest 6 into the side pocket. A very acute angle. Not a lot of pocket exposed there for this 6, so boy. And the magnifying glasses are on every single shot now as this match whittles down to the business end. Mistakes will be exposed. Yeah, that's a good shot.
Got a little bit short on the 7 here, though. This will be a tester.
Yeah, he committed so strongly to the pot there that just let the positional side of the shot go astray a little, but I still expect him to get this. Thin cut. Cue ball will be tracking along the side of the table, side cushion a couple times, but he can commit to this pot. He should drop onto the 8.
And he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it. But
well, I promise you, Eric Hjorleifson's delighted to get back and out of his chair in this particular rack. Delighted, regardless of what welcomed him.
I agree. And I'm quite honestly, I'm a little bit surprised that Ben didn't take that cut on. And I say that only because I know his game well, and if there's anybody I know that sees the edge of the ball as well as anybody, it's going to be Ben. Almost a carbon copy of where the 6 ball was moments ago. And from this view, looks fairly routine, but let me show you, it is a very small window for that 7 ball to make it into the side pocket.
I wonder if Ben wishes he'd have taken on that 7 now.
I
the
think
thin
so.
Cut.
I'm really surprised that he didn't. I think he played against his natural instinct and decided to play the safety. But Eric will gladly play cleanup on this rack.
And now it's a 2 out of 3.
Well, and like we said, with momentum being what it is, you gotta favor Eric at this point. 3 on the trot, I believe, for Eric Hjorleifson. Ben seems to have hit a wall at 7 games.
Yeah, this is just what the fans wanted, though. They wanted some of these tight-fisted encounters and, where the pressure mounts.
Well, with a 6-point difference in Fargo rating, this is kind of the tail of the tape and playing out like we all expected to. I don't think anybody expected there to be a lopsided win in this match. And Eric heavily favored here with the break in control, 3 on the trot. And open and clean on the 3. Perhaps a little hampered by the 5 ball. But I don't really see much of an issue anywhere here. 3 and 4 up to that top right-hand corner, 5 ball past the 9. Pretty tic-tac-toe from there. Little cavalier there, I think.
Yeah, well short of what would have been ideal. Still favored to knock this in and drop onto the 6, but just a higher degree of difficulty. And again, at 7-7.
Good shot.
Good recovery.
Indeed.
Yeah, Ben really let Eric off the hook.
Yeah.
And he's paying the price. He had control of this match.
He sure did. He was favored with that, even with the cut, as difficult as what it was. I mean, he sees those cuts, and I'm honestly shocked that he backed away from it and played safe. Right, and we talk about it often on the stream, that when you're in control of the table, and especially in a rotation game, to bring your opponent back and give him a free shot. When you have control, you have the open shot to take. As difficult as what it is, this is typical and the result that you normally see. Yeah, nice shot there. Taking the lead.
Yeah, I believe for the first time in the match.
First time in the match. Puts himself on the hill. Looking to close escrow.
And he's going to break for the last time in the match.
Yes. So he'll make this one count. We know that Big Red's got a hammer of a break. And I think no matter what happens in this match, whether Ben comes back and takes the match, or whether Eric takes the match, no matter who wins and who goes to the B side, the mindset for them will be just make it to the top 16, get to the redraw.
That's everybody's game plan right now. Yeah. Just get to the redraw.
And that B-side is no joke. There are already 6 or 7 of the 700-plus category players on that side of the fence.
The redraw will be tonight?
I would think so, yeah. That will set the stage for tomorrow. Well.
This is a chance. I mean, he's very close to the 2, but the 3's near that top right corner as we look.
That is really close to the work. I don't know that he can even get in enough to cut that. But I've been proven wrong numerous times.
Yeah, I think this is available. Like he can maybe jack up a little bit just to avoid the push.
Great shot. Avoids the double hit.
Now one good positional shot from the 3 to the 4. And he'll have 1 foot over the finish line.
And Eric really slowing the pace, giving everything the be sure shot. Oh no. Well, he's okay. He's all right. This is recoverable. A little more challenging than I think what his intention was, but nonetheless, 4 goes to the right side pocket, a couple rails around, 5 ball either into the right side pocket or perhaps the top right-hand corner. Oh, going well around. All 3 rails to land dead perfect on the 5 to the bottom left. Risky shot, in my opinion, but it paid off.
He'll play the 6 to the corner.
No risk, no reward, as they say. And he is well rewarded. A golden opportunity to close escrow.
I trailed 7-4 at one point.
Nice shot here. Just perfect. You'll be able to just float that in, push a little bit through, have the 9 ball to the bottom right-hand corner for the finish.
Yeah, this has been a quality match, though. And you get a look at what Eric Hjorleifson is capable of. Won the last 5 racks to run out in this one. Grant, full value for the win for me.
Indeed. Job well done by Mr. Eric Hjorleifson, showing us the heart. Never a give up. A great job. What a great match.
Yeah, a lot more play coming your way. It's going to be ongoing all day today, probably into the wee hours again, and I feel for you already, Grant. But yeah, folks, if you're anywhere near the Leather Pocket, the northeast end of Calgary, you know,
copious amounts of coffee.
Copious amounts of coffee, but make your way down and enjoy some of this in person. Some of the best players in the country here, and Grant, very enjoyable. And I'm going to take a short break. I'm going to make a couple phone calls, but thank you, folks. Don't go away. A lot more pool coming your way.
Appreciate it, Jim. Thanks.